Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Page number 151 and 152. Anadi-Apourysheyam continued. Deivattin in Tamil calls Ishvara vEdA Gita. It further says Sandoga Samam Vodam Vayanai, meaning the names of the various branches of Vedas. Deivattin says that he is all the time singing those portions of Vedas. His breath itself is singing only. Our breath is known as Hamsa Geetam. Thus, Ishvara's music of his breath is the Vedam. Deivattin further goes on to describe Ishvara wearing the ponal with white strips of the ashes effulgent all over his body, repeatedly bathing, as he is known to be too fond of repeatedly bathing, Apourusheka Priyaha, chasing the various parts of the Vedas, chanting the various parts of the Vedas. We have to wonder if Parameshwara himself is the greatest Ganapadigal, but nowhere does the Deivattin ever say that God is creating the Vedas. Vaishnava's Divya Prabandham too talks of Vedas and vEdA quite a lot, but I do not remember if Perumal is described to be chanting the Vedas mentioned anywhere in Nalayira Divya Prabandham. Pugadendi Pulavar, talking about Mahavishnu's prompt response of what? When the elephant Gajendra called him shouting Adi Moolame, says Vedattin mun nindran, Vedam mudale ena araipa en nindran. Herein, I do not think that the phrase Vedattin mun nindran should be construed as his being earlier to Vedam in time, but as occurring at the start of all Vedas. Look at how Perumal's procession takes place. First, there are Thiruvaimozhi Oduvar's party, followed by the Utsavar on the palanquin. Then come all the Ganapadigal chanting the Vedas. Thus, also, he is Vedattin Munindran. In the Agamas of Vaishnavas and their Puranas, nowhere does it say that Mahavishnu created the Vedas. Often, there is a description of God as Yajnaswarupi or Vedaswarupi. The eagle or Garuda Vahana of God is said to be Vedaswarupam. In Purusha Suktam, which is part of the Veda, there is a mention of the birth of Vedas. But Purusha Suktam itself is too allegorical and symbolical to draw a direct meaning of the birth of Vedas. In it, the Paramapurusha is offered as a sacrificial oblation in which the spring season is the ghee, summer season is the samit bundles of wood, autumn season is the havis offered to the yajna fire, and so on. These are practically understandable only to those who have soaked their life into the mantras. All told, the Shastras say that Vedam is Anadi. It is the breath of God in the form of those sounds of mantras using which Brahma created the worlds. All this will sound as much bunkum to the so-called modern mindsets. But on detailed analysis, it will be found to contain a very big scientific truth. I am not saying that religious matters have to be acceptable to a scientist, and then only the common man should accept those. As our science and scientists cannot reach or comprehend that Paramatma principles and Siddhantam need not be brought into the purview of science. There may be many things in such a discussion which seems to be most unscientific, but that does not mean that they are to be disregarded. But the point being considered here is, how could the sounds of breath be mantras, and how could anyone using them create the entire universe? And most importantly, how could such a statement become acceptable to science? Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Rama 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 Rama.